All right, we get to multiplying and dividing signed fractions, and this is one where you don't really have an option. You have to change them into improper fractions. So let's just go ahead and get that step out of the way, and every single one of these are mixed numbers. So we're going to have to change all of them into improper fractions. So the first one, remember, we don't really worry about the sign until the end. So 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. So we'll have 22 over 7, and now the negative, I think it's helpful to write it on the top. When I put it out in front or if I put it on the bottom, I tend to lose it. So I really like it just right there on the top. Okay, now we're going to change this one. So 1 times 11 is 11 plus 2 is 13. And then my denominator is 11, and this is negative. Okay, we need to have a heart-to-heart here, guys. Please, please, please cross simplify. I saw so many of you guys multiplying 22 by 13 and 7 by 11, and then you get some huge number on the top, and you have a denominator of 77, and you're like, I don't know if I can simplify this or not. Most of you didn't, and then it was wrong because it's not in simplest form. Please, please, please cross simplify. Not only because it makes your life easier, but also as we proceed into algebra next year, you will be cross-simplifying with polynomials. You really need to be in the habit of doing this. So just ask yourself, is there a number that goes into 22 and also into 11? Or another way to ask yourself is, what can I divide 22 by that I can also divide 11 by? And the answer is 11. So 11 divided by 11 is 1. Negative 22 divided by 11 would be negative 2. And notice, this is from years of experience, I always rewrite that negative because chances are if I cross through it, I forget that it's there. So I look to see if there's anything else I can do. 7 and the 13, they're both prime numbers, so they don't have any common factors, so except for 1. I'm ready to go. So I just do top times top, bottom times bottom, and I'm done. I think that's just so much more straightforward than trying to simplify at the end. Okay, so now we move on. 2 3/5 will change into 2 times 5 is 10 plus 3, 13/5, and that's negative. And then 1 3/10 changes to 1 times 10 is 10 plus 3, 13/10. Okay, and I know whenever I divide, I got to keep, change, flip. So I keep the first fraction just like it is. I change the division to a multiplication dot, and then I flip this second fraction. So this becomes a 10 on the top and a 13 on the bottom. And you know what I'm going to say. Please, please, please cross simplify. Please do not multiply 13 by 10 and get 130 and 5 times 13 and get 65 and then try to figure out how you can simplify. Look, guys, we have a 13 on the top and we have a 13 on the bottom. They pretty much cancel out, right? In other words, we're dividing both of these by 13. 13 divided by 13 is 1. Negative 13 divided by 13 is negative 1. We've already made our lives so much simpler. But we're not done yet, because what about 5 and 10? They can both be divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. And now look at your numbers. You don't have numbers bigger than 100. Ugh. You have a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1. I mean, how simple can that be, right? So now it's just left for you to do negative 1 times 2 on the top and 1 times 1 on the bottom. And that's it.